everyone. Welcome to the House Calls the Greatest Show here on Late Night. I'm Dr. Quack, and tonight I got a special guest for you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring him on. The man needs no introduction. The man has many championships, including the WGP Havoc title, the BWO Tag Team Champion, and the Forbidden Door Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, Don Krypton.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you?
Welcome to the show. This is quite the honor. I have always wanted to talk to you ever since seeing your promos. I am definitely honored to have you on this screen.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Dr. Quack. It's good to be more or less recognized by the wider promoverse. So thank you very much for having me on your show.
Definitely. I mean, here we go. Well, we already got questions. I don't even have to ask. They just come out with it. I love this. Here you go. This is from SNES. Don, which moment in your promo career is your favorite, the most significant, and the regretful?
Probably my favorite was definitely winning the prototype title from El Guapo. That was a first-time title, and that was my first belt ever, period, in the promo universe. So that was it was a great moment for me. Most significant was getting these tag team title belts finally in the BWO. That's the only reason I came into the promoverse to begin with. BWO tag team titles with my best friend Rambo, and we finally got those after about a year and a half. It took us a while to get to the top, but we made it happen, and that was the most significant. The most regretful, I don't think I regret anything. Probably my biggest missed opportunity was my only singles title shot in the BWO against one BB Greatness. And I believe that was probably my best promo ever, and it fell short. So just getting into it, that knocked my confidence for a little bit too. So just going through that and um, instead of bouncing right back, which I did attempt to do, but my heart wasn't in it anymore. It was one of those type of things. But I think that's probably the one thing I regret is not going harder after losing the title, trying to go back for it instead of kind of losing heart a little bit on that. Nope.
Oh, don't worry. My cat, she's a little happy here today. Sometimes she hides, but she's not here. Definitely. And there you go. Got some good answer there. Great moment. Let me just ask you before we get into some of these questions. We got a lot of them lighting up here. The BWO, being a general manager, how much is that like weigh on you versus being a competitor?
I am very good at an authoritative role, trying to get things done, making sure that things are taken care of the way they're supposed to. It weighs on me because of the people that basically I replaced, or the people that left because of the things that I was trying to enact here. Um, Even if we had differences of opinion, it doesn't mean that I want this brand to fail. Just because they're faces and I'm considered a heel. I don't want the BWO to fail. It's one that if I want to dominate a place, if I want to rule over a kingdom, I don't want that kingdom to collapse before I get to it. So me being the general manager is making sure that the BWO continues despite anybody else that happens, despite anybody that quits or comes back, despite anybody that may want the worst. I will be there to combat that. That is my role, not only in BWO but WGP as well.
Yeah, I mean, being a dual general manager for two different feds is not an easy task. Here we go. Oh, we got some more. Let me just pop them up here. Possible opponents or dream opponents. So people want to know. I'm not sure who that's from, but they want to
know. Possible opponents. I'm definitely looking to step up to the next level. I for sure am eyeing the Foundation Championship title. But there are some things that are unraveling on both Foundation and WGP that may make that a little bit more complicated for me. So that's something I would keep an eye on,
that
in
is
both of
from
those brands.
Brett Jacobs. And
Okay.
I'm going to bring this up because the man has put out a pure challenge for the
Uh,
championship. I think you've seen that.
I thought about it. I did see it. I thought about it, but I feel like it might be a little bit, you know, heavy on me right now because I have a few others that I'm defending at the moment. But let that happen at a point in time where I'm ready. At that point in time where I do not have as much responsibility. Let that happen at a point in time where I am actually hungry. Then we'll see how that goes.
I see that definitely. I mean, you hold a lot of gold here. Here we go. Oh, we're getting them fired. Here we go. What inspired you to be a wrestler? And if you had to choose a promotion such as AEW or WWE or TNA, what would you choose?
Okay. That's an interesting question.
That is.
Uh, So what inspired me to be a wrestler, honestly, I do enjoy the storytelling action more than anything else. The wrestling is literally choreography. It's built in a way to look good, to look painful, technically, even if it's not, a bad thing. And obviously, the belt collector is actually my best friend, Ramboa.
There he is.
He's one of the people who inspired me to do this. I actually told him that he was one of the people who could do all of this. And he was like, I don't feel like it. I'm like, come on, let's try it one more time. Let's just see what's going on. So again, I finally won the tag team belts with him. But once we got into it, we had a feud of our own. We started our collection Mayhem, obviously, which is now spread to the entire promoverse. So um, once he starts getting out there, it's gonna be so much more mayhem, literally. So that's where I'm at right now. My best friend Rambo inspired me because this is something I know he could do. He loves wrestling already. He's already a podcaster. He already has a bunch of tracks on Spotify and all your streaming platforms. It's something he can do. It's something he will dominate and be amazing at because he is a natural born talker. So that's where I'm at with that.
And this is from Brett Jacobs. Brett Jacobs, rather. Don't worry, I'm not leaving. I'll wait until after you lighten those shoulders. So I
All
guess you
right.
got somebody looking in the later future. Yeah.
We shall see. We
Oh,
certainly shall see.
yeah. God, the good questions are coming. Look, don't you ever worry about don't you ever worry you are overcommitted. You're in BWO, WGP, PPA, Foundation, and more. Do you ever feel that pressure?
So I have to tell you about how I started. I started in the BWO. BWO is honestly is like the NBA. When I came out to WGP initially, that was honestly kind of like college basketball. Within 2 months of coming into WGP, I was the Havoc title, and I haven't relinquished it since. I actually did relinquish it technically one time, and that was to somebody from the BWO, Young Gun, who was also the Foundation champion. You know what I'm saying? So,
Go
uh,
figure. I'm telling you. How's
right.
that work?
Right. And of course, I had to go and get that one back. But it was an interesting process uh, going from the NBA to a place that's a little more my speed, I guess. Honestly, if that makes any sense. Uh, it's your boy. We're not
It's
going
your
to finish that
boy.
statement. All right. But yes, definitely, I believe that it was getting but I'll say it in the base terms possible. Me getting beat up in the BWO prepared me to be a champion literally everywhere else because those guys are literally that damn good. So once my rookie year was over, I came out of the BWO to see what else was going on. Immediately became 2 3 time champ. So that's where I'm at as far as that's concerned.
Well, somebody's wishing you luck in the wrestling world, and you picked an awesome podcast to be on. I'll thank you for that one.
Absolutely, greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
Definitely follow Dr. Quack, but also make sure you follow AM Mayhem, which I started with my best friend Rambo. Those should be coming back Saturday early mornings, but we're gonna post them on YouTube as well. Follow AM Mayhem podcast. You'll see me, Rambo, and normally we have our pick with another Elizabeth, New Jersey native, Jay Lethal. So you'll see all three of us, and we'll be good to go on there.
There we go. Do you feel any difference between being a promo artist and a content creator? Do you see any major difference in that?
No.
No, it's about the
Um,
same stuff, isn't it?
it's about the same stuff. I would say content creator. It's content creator is the umbrella, and then promo artist is one thing. Foodie is one thing. Music lover is one thing. All of those are under the umbrella of content creator. So it just depends on what your specialty is, and our specialty happens to be promo battling. So that's what I like about that. It's a good question.
That is. Here we go. Worst feeling you felt about promos, i.e., styles editing, group management. God, people are asking the
Um,
fire ones.
that is a fire question. My problem has always been with judging. Um, Judging is the most subjective thing in the world, and you can have all of the all of the locker room approval, and you'll still lose by that minuscule amount, or even worse, a big amount, when everybody seems to have loved your promo, think your promo was better, and you're trying to figure out what was on the mind of those judges, and then the notes are absolutely terrible. They're like, just didn't like it this time. What? Tell me something. I personally oversaw the overhaul of the BWO judging system twice. I've fired collections of judges because what can I get a better explanation on that so that we can give our
Is it
our our,
always
our, our
judge number
artists.
3?
No, it's not always
No.
judge number three. For me, in the beginning of my promo artistry as a solo artist, yeah, it was judge number three. That would give me some ridiculous score for some arbitrary reason. It's like, why? Why would you do that to me? But
Now we
yeah,
got
I've been there a
somebody
few
here you're
times.
meeting on Saturday. Talking about seeing you Saturday. I
Ah,
think you know who this
Elijah
gentleman is.
McFly. Wow.
Yeah. How are you preparing for him? He's a young up and comer, been on fire lately.
I have defeated Elijah McFly multiple times.
Ooh.
However, each time that I have faced him has gotten closer and closer. So I did watch the podcast with you, and I believe it was it old school, I believe.
Maybe.
Um, I did
Oh,
see
you're
that.
talking about the real talk, yes.
Yes, the real talk. Um, the real talk, and honestly, the everything that you said was correct. Elijah McFly has been putting in a lot of work, and I'm proud of him. Hopefully, I get to defeat him because I want to bring him over to the developmental brand for the BWO called BXT. I believe
Yes.
he will absolutely thrive there, even if, despite the record or what happens on Saturday, I would like to see Elijah McFly in BXT.
Oh, here we go. I'm going to ask you a question before I get to this one, though, because you've got another opponent, I believe. You're taking on a member that is in BXT, and I'm talking about Young Buck or Buckshot, excuse me.
Buckshot. Yes. Buckshot was one of the reasons that I decided to explore the rest of the promo verse, simply because I wasn't at that point in time. I was a main figure. I was a mainstay, but I wasn't in contention. I was looking like Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley out there. Obviously a big, strong name, but nowhere near the title. You know what I'm saying? Um, and that's kind of I was kind of plateauing there for a while. So I decided to explore out, and Buckshot was like, "Hey, come over to this spot where me and Vagabond are already doing the thing." That was WGP, and I brought Mayhem over there as well because that's where that's kind of just the faction that I've decided I wanted to take over the promoverse. So Buckshot is one of the people that definitely inspires me to keep doing this. Buckshot is one of the people who held you know held, held me down, made sure that I wasn't going to give up on this easily simply because I lost to a better opponent at that point in time. So um, I have much respect for Buckshot. But it's a time chasers battle. 90 seconds. Buckshot likes to talk a lot. He needs a little bit more than 90 seconds.
Yeah, he
Um,
is a lot of the gift of gab there.
which is a good thing, but maybe not within 90 seconds.
90 seconds is going to be an issue, I think. We'll see how he does. I'm curious. Here you
he
go.
he
What's the
I was gonna
most
say he asked
genuine
me to be out
feeling?
here.
Go ahead.
No,
Were
I
you
was gonna
there?
say, but Buckshot asked me to be out here, so you gotta. The leader has to take the belts for right now. That's how it works.
Makes sense. What's the most genuine feeling you have when you think of promoing?
Genuine feeling. It's definitely pride. Um, you're doing this because you think you're better than the other person. You're doing this because you think you are the best at what you do. You're doing this because you think that your skills are viable enough to be put on screen in front of people, doing what you want to do, doing what you like to do, and doing what you're good at. So being prideful in the fact that you're damn good at something, you're good at talking, you're good at, making people believe in this character that you have created here. Absolute beautiful feeling simply because that's what you want. You want to be prideful. You want people to think that you're the best, just like you think you're the best.
There you go. Outside of Mayhem, which faction do you enjoy watching?
Ugh. Um, I have a love hate relationship with Beast Mode Bones. Um,
How could
Beast
you
Mode
have
Bones.
that? It's Beast Mode Bones, you know?
Beast
He's one
Mode
of the great,
Bones
baby.
is a thorn in my side.
He never
However,
causes trouble. I'm sorry, I can't say it with straight face.
Beast Mode Bones causes all the trouble because he is what I am 2 years ago. He's doing what I he's doing what I'm going to be doing 2 years from now, trying to shut down all these young guns, showing them that I'm still the shit, that I'm still one of the best people out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm a new up and comer, so I want to show the old guard that I'm the shit. So that I want to do what he's doing. That's he's one of my also one of my inspirations for doing this. I got to figure out just his what his secret sauce is, but we're 1-1 against each other all time, so that's massive amounts of fun. But definitely anybody that Beast Mode Bones is associated with, whether it be the table, whether it be Night Kings, whether it be Exalted, anything that uh, he's a part of. I did before I brought Mayhem to Foundation. I enjoyed watching the I forgot their name, Reptile Tribe. I believe that was Vagabond
Yeah,
and Reptile Elijah McFly. So um, again, lots of potential in Elijah McFly, and obviously your WGP World Heavyweight Champion, the Vagabond. Keep an eye on him. Those factions I enjoy watching. I do like factions in general. I'm trying to make sure that I'm keeping an eye on them. Uh, but obviously, I do have to focus on mine for the most part. So
definitely.
that's
That
kind of
makes a
where I'm
lot of
at as far as
sense. You always
factions are
got to
concerned.
focus on what you got to do out there. Here you go.
Absolutely,
Most
absolutely.
controversial win or loss you've seen or been a part of.
Oh,
You're getting the good ones
both
today.
of yeah. Both of the times. Okay, so there's three matches, three specific matches. Actually, four. Wow, I've got a few of them. My first match ever. Um, Actually, it was probably my second or third match. But my first match was a tag team match with Ramboa, and we were going up against DB Greatness and Tuck, um, Commissioner Tuck from the BWO. And at that point, my gimmick was being silent. I didn't speak at all during the promos. So, um,
Now we got the
so
hashtag up.
no,
Jeez.
we can't get we've done enough to beat Smo Bones. Let that man live. Um, so yeah, my first promo that I was a part of was literally supposed to be me and Rambo. But what happened is it was a tag team match. So Ramboa talked the entire 6 minutes, and based on content and funniness and everything like that alone, Ramboa should have won. But there was one judge that gave us a 1-1-1 across the board because it quote unquote wasn't teamwork. But that was kind of the gimmick, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of how it was supposed to happen. Um, that one broke my heart a lot, like because we didn't lose by a lot either. So that was a big one. I thought I had the better promo versus BB Greatness for sure. That was that. That's all I have to say about that. Um, and my two quote unquote title losses recently. The one I had against Young Gun, where the one judge literally gave me half the score of him because what? He didn't understand what I was saying? Like, what? What do you mean by that? I just because I'm speaking a little bit quicker and you don't understand doesn't mean that you should tax my score. Everybody else can understand what's wrong with you. I'm not the problem. But also the one against where I lost the Foundation prototype title versus Uriel. He brought out the Bronx Bomber against me. It was literally a handicap supposed to do about that. And even against two men, I still only lost by 1 point. So,
Oh
that's kind of all I thought. And the judging notes on that said I didn't believe him this time around. What do you mean you don't believe me?
God, I got one here
Terrible.
for you now. Do you have a personal blacklist of an artist you won't work with? If so, who and only if you want to share?
um, I'm mostly going to say no. I don't have any beef with anybody out here. Like I said, Beast Mode Bones, I have a love-hate relationship with him, and he's probably you know, outside of the promo verse, we're best friends. Outside of, you know, inside the promo verse, we balance each other off. Like we're kind of yin and yang. We never seem to be on the same page, but we both want the same thing, and that's to elevate everybody's game. So
Makes a good story.
somebody like that, Stephen Faison, the young gun, um, Bobby the Iceman Miller. Those people are people who I kind of just have the love hate with. People I'm kind of on both sides of it as well.
I've been trying to get to this question, but everything's been kind of going. In content creation itself, what is the most important part of a promo besides the talking? Is it the music, the props, something else entirely?
That's a good question.
That is.
Literally it. Do you know what I mean? Literally, you
That
have to
X
have
factor.
it, that X factor. Just in general, I would say somebody like Bobby Miller, his intensity is different from other people's intensity. So that is his differentiating factor. Um, Somebody like Bones can adapt to anybody else's style and sometimes do it better than they did. That's his it factor. Um, just going off of it in general, somebody like Ramboa, his ability to honestly, his ability to ramble, his ability to stay on a single subject for a long amount of time is something that he's good at, and he'll nail every single point on the head and never miss a single moment. So, content creation, you have to have something that helps you stand out. I would like to say that how I am the opposite of Bobby. I'm the type that is not intense, but still commanding enough to get my point across. You know
Do
what I'm
you
saying?
ever scream in a
So
promo?
there have been times where I have expressed frustration.
Mm-hmm.
There have been times where it was very visible that I was angry, very visible that I was distressed about something. But screaming, yelling, unnecessary.
Just something that you don't feel needs to be done. I get that. I mean, because there's not a lot of people who can pull that off. A lot of people, they like to raise their voice and they like to be out there. And you come with that calm, cool demeanor.
Think about it. Somebody like the Kingpin. Have you ever heard him scream? No. You'll hear him raise his voice, get a little more commanding, let you understand what's going on. But he didn't need to scream or yell to tell you that he was going to beat your ass at some point in time. So that's kind of where we are as far as that's concerned.
Do you know who Mr. Entertainment is? If so, why?
I do not know who Mr. Entertainment is. I apologize. Does
Okay,
anybody know who Mr. Entertainment is?
I do know who Mr. Entertainment is. Yes, that is in
Okay.
another group called the BTB.
Ah, interesting.
You know, the promoverse is, tens of thousands at least.
Absolutely. Definitely understandable.
And
So let's.
here's a good question to that. Are there too many E-Feds? Do you feel overexposure will lead to promo apathy? Jesus. Somebody got a dictionary
That's
out. That's
that.
yes.
No, that's a good question. That's a very good question, actually. Um,
That,
I believe that too many of the same people are in too many of the e-feds. That's the issue right now. I know for sure that somebody like the Vagabond is dominating in about 6 or 7 e-feds by himself, whether it be by himself or in tag team. He's
he had a pretty good match
literally
tonight
everywhere.
watching HSP.
Correct, correct. So, um, it depends on how you handle it. Um, Vagabond is one of those who can get his same character over in every single ephid, kind of like the way I am, because nobody does what I do, and also nobody does what the Vagabond does. Um, so, and there's some people who have different gimmicks in every different event. Somebody like SNES, who is also well, I'm not sure if they're the same character actually, but he has a striking resemblance to Doctor Doof and Chosen Ridian.
They
All
might
those
be
people,
related. I'm not 100% sure.
right? They seem similar. I would think, but they could be like Jimmy and Jey Uso. They just have a bunch of the same kind of person out there. Um, but yes, as far as that's concerned, I think there are too many of the same people in the same in different epheds. So you're seeing kind of the same matches over and over again, if that makes sense. But we had the opposite problem in the BWO. We didn't have enough diversity. So you ended up seeing the same matches over and over again. So that's why I believe that I'm here. I'm going to kind of, mix up the pool a little bit, and we're already seeing it show dividends, not
Yeah,
only
because
here, but
you're starting
literally
to do
in
this. What
everywhere
I've
that
been
I am.
saying for a long time, talking about recruiting. You're starting to go to people, talk to them. How important is that?
Depends on how you feel. Like I said, as far as somebody who's already like a big company like Foundation, they don't need to recruit nobody if they really didn't feel like it. They have enough people where they don't have the same matches. They won't have the same match, twice in a year.
Right.
So unless obviously if there's one person who's dominating, there's one person who keeps getting here. Um, but outside of that, if they needed to, they can have a different match every day of the week or every week of the year. But then there's BWO who has literally like 12 main guys, and that's it. So you see a lot of the same people every single week, every single time. So, um, and that's why the BWO is expanding and recruiting because we need the diversity, and that's why somebody like Foundation is not necessarily recruiting because they have enough of it and they want to be able to raise up the people that they have already and show that the product is good before bringing anybody else in. So those are all the thoughts I have on that.
I just want to take a quick second to give a congratulations to Heathen because Heathen has expressed about coming over to the BWO. He has just
Indeed,
won
indeed.
the Soulfire Championship in
Oh
HSP.
wow,
How do
beautiful,
you feel
beautiful.
about him competing over there? How do you think he would stack up?
Um, I I personally haven't had a whole lot of dealings with Heathen myself,
Okay.
but from what I've heard, as far as I heard, he's a good competitor. I heard that he obviously, as you said, is a champion in the HSP Federation. So coming over to BWO, we can always use high level talent. Like we just recently brought back. Um, Hollywood Haywood, one of
Yeah.
the best of all time, one of the GOATs. So, whether he's on a legend contract or something that he decides to actually want to compete, kind of like Edge, just, we will accommodate him because he's one of the best of the best. So, Heathen, kind of the same issue. Somebody who has made a name elsewhere. We're not going to treat him like a joke. He's somebody who has garnered respect, who has won a bunch of matches, whether they be here or not. So, we're going to give him that same respect, making sure that everybody um, comes to the BWO and is shown the proper respect. We might do things a little bit differently, but if you can adapt, you won't perish. That's how that
That's
goes.
almost every Fed, everybody does something a little bit different. There's a little bit extra with everything. Here we go. Any group recommendations for places with a lot of promo diversity?
Promo diversity. So there's two sides to that coin. If you think you can bring something new to a place that doesn't have it, you want to go to somewhere like the BWO because they haven't seen what you have to prepare for. If you want to go into a place and if you want something to already have a bunch of different gimmicks that you could probably pull from or make something out of what they have, you go to somewhere like WGP or the Foundation, where they have a bunch of different gimmicks that people already have, where you can pluck from or talk to the people who how they got where they came from.
Like,
But if you have something, you think you want to bring something, you think you're already at that top level, you go to the WWO.
I mean, because some places have a lot of dark, spooky characters. Some will have
Mm-hmm.
clowns in there that'll work.
True, true.
Some have the showmans. I mean, you want to have a variety in a Fed. You really do,
Right.
because if you have 10 of the same promos, it really just adds up to a dull show.
Absolutely. And you don't want to have 10 of the same promo, especially on the same show. One thing I always, admonish people about, 2 or 3 hour shows, probably not the best way to go. But uh, obviously, you do want to display all of your talent. So I definitely understand that.
Yeah. And here we go. Haywood gets a Legends contract. Bones gets paid to stay away. Wow, man.
Correct.
Feel that love, Bones. I'm telling you, man. Look,
Correct.
I'm happy to see him back on screen, man. I like seeing him come out there and work, man. He's getting better.
Absolutely.
He really is. I want to do a little bit of word association with you. Just, your thoughts. I'm going to give you a word. You tell me how you feel about it. Let's start with green screens.
Green screens. Beautiful. If you know how to use one, makes life easy. Brings that creativity out in you. Obviously, if you want to put a video on in the background, make sure you have something relevant going on in the background. As you can see, as of right now, I don't have a green screen. I did at one point in time happen, but I don't. I got my TVs. You see my name. You see Mayhem. You see
Marketing.
BWO. You see WGP. Exactly. That I have a screen behind me. Green screens, if you can use it right, is absolutely a tool, a weapon in your arsenal. If you are not proficient with it, or you don't have one, it is not a necessity. Somebody like the Young Gun doesn't use a green screen and still wins championships anywhere he goes. Bones doesn't always use a green screen, wins championships everywhere he goes. So a lot of people, whether it be on their own merit or on just regular filters or on something different entirely, green screen is one of those that is green screens is a tool in your arsenal and can be a good thing if you can know how to use it.
For those of you just joining us from the HSP Tag Team Redemption Show, we have Don Krypton on here. By all means, definitely, you want to ask some questions. A lot of people already have. He's definitely here. 3-time champion, 2-time general manager. Man's doing a lot of things. Let's continue on to some word association here. Profanity.
Believe it or not.
Old school versus Krypton. Let me just put that there for you. I'll let you comment on that, sir. You go right ahead. I'm grabbing my water.
See, the thing is, I automatically have the advantage because old school claims to not know who I am. So
that shocked
we'll see
me.
what happens.
I'm like,
as
how
far
do you
as
not
that's
know this
concerned.
guy? You got to come see this guy. I would tell
right?
you.
How do I have all of these belts and you not know who one of the champions is? Come on now. It's got to count for something somewhere.
Definitely. Oh, here we go.
Had I not been in the
Sunday
handicap
morning,
match.
Krypton.
All righty.
We got Shady in here.
So I see how that goes. Interesting.
Where are you fighting him at on Sunday morning?
I won't be fighting him, but he is making an appearance somewhere, so you might want to keep an eye
I am
on the
definitely
BWO
watching.
this weekend.
Got me sold. I keep my eyes peeled here.
Indeed.
Okay.
Where are we at?
How
I
are
don't know
you?
who the Facebook user is.
I don't know either, but they're saying, how are you?
Indeed. I'm doing well. I'm here. As you can see, dripped out in gold, and that's how we do it. That's how we make things happen.
Yeah, there you go. Destiny match, Foundation Saturday.
Beautiful. Yes.
Who do you have there?
As much as I would like to say myself, obviously, you have Beastmo Bones. You can never count him out.
No.
I don't think Bobby Miller has a title, so he's eligible for the Destiny match.
Okay.
TK3, Mama Purge, you count any of them out simply because they may win. They may have something to pull out of the bag. They always do. So that could be anybody. That could be anywhere. So I would like to say myself, but
that's
we'll
what he meant. He meant Saturday, not Sunday. I'm like, okay, maybe he's got special days. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking around like, wait a minute, what's going on there?
And Old School says he's watching BWO. Trust him. Oh yeah, he's watching.
Sounds good. All right,
Well,
let's go back to what was that previous question?
Oh, go ahead.
What was that previous question? I don't think I finished that before.
Oh, where are we at? Which one was it?
Um, it was before the Mama Purge one, before the Destiny
Are you
match.
talking about this? Any group recommendations for
After
plushes?
that, I think it was after that. Yeah.
Oh God, I'm looking. A lot of comments on here. Thank you all for the comments and questions. Definitely. No, there's nothing else here after that.
Okay. All right. That's
But
fine then.
yeah, yeah, we were talking about profanity. That's what we were talking about.
Profanity. That's what it is. Absolutely not a necessity. Um, Profanity is what you get when you don't have a mastery of the English language. Um, Me personally, profanity is unnecessary. But for someone who um, likes to emphasize things a little bit more, for someone who likes to, um, for someone who likes to put a point on something, for someone who likes to make sure that that is, people want to make sure that that point is heard or emphasized or cut off from the rest of it. You know, I think that it is a part of the language. It is a part of the language, so it can be used. But it's like using the same word over and over again.
Yes.
We know what that means. So
Context.
if you don't have, correct, if you don't have a better definition, or you don't have a better way of, explaining, you don't have a better way of um, elucidating, you don't have a better way of uh, understanding what's going on, you have to resort back to those same words.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I use profanity in mine, but it's unnecessary sometimes. But it
Sometimes
does,
all I
when
use is
necessary,
profanity, but I make it work. I'm not sure who this
correct.
one is, but I'm
That is the correct statement. That is the correct statement. Because some people can use profanity and use it in a way where every single point that they make makes sense. But there's some people who needed to just put a period on something, or just put an exclamation mark on something, just to make sure that that is the part that you understand. I
definitely.
believe it is unnecessary, but it is a part of the language. So yes, it is. It is. There's no problem with using it.
Okay. Multi-man matches. How do you feel about them?
Oh, those are painful. Multi-man matches are painful, simply because it's not one-on-one. Everything's subjective. Everybody is, because you may like one person more than you like the other person, so you grade them a little bit. You grade the whole entire match a little bit higher because you like this person, or you grade the whole match a little bit lower because you don't like this person. So, multi-man matches are a pain, especially for people who are, in hell, different time zones. Having a tag team with somebody from Europe is a pain in the behind. So, just in general, I would say multi-man matches are awesome when they are executed correctly, but a lot of the times they are not. So it doesn't always come off great. But I believe that it. I don't believe in getting rid of them. I believe that they should just be executed properly.
Okay, what are you drinking? I got to ask that. Or what did you drink?
Oh, this is, what is this? I believe it's supposed to be honey Jack Daniels. Yes,
Ooh,
this is okay.
it's a
I
good
thought it
one
was
right
some
there.
other
That
bourbon,
Tennessee
but yeah,
honey.
yes.
Ooh, I like
Tennessee
that.
honey is the good stuff.
It don't like me much anymore, but I like that.
Understandable.
See, I work to make sure even when cursing that my points are definitely understandable. Great answers. Also, these comments are coming from Brett Jacobs. Thank you. I'm just trying to make sure I only see the Facebook user, but definitely great comments here, Brett.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Love to
So
hear it.
here we go. So we won't see Purge and Don team up.
Um,
That would be interesting. You're calm.
that's
He's all like kind of eccentric.
Purge is an awesome competitor. I'm not gonna beat around the bush on that one. Purge
I
is an awesome competitor. Um, will we team up? I'm not gonna say that it's an impossibility. Absolutely not. I've been trying to get Mama Purge to join Mayhem for as long as I've been out here, but I will absolutely not put that out of contention. Purge is an awesome competitor. I would love to team up with him one day.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go into some rapid fire questions. And since somebody's pretty much asked it, I'm going to start with this. I don't know if anyone's asked yet, but what's your favorite match so far? Favorite match as a promo artist and favorite match as a fan?
Favorite match as a promo artist, I would say. Um, I would honestly probably say my match with DB Greatness and with Vagabond because those were the ones that I put the most effort into. It was just unfortunate that I lost, but it was both of those. But I would say that those were probably my favorite matches because I put the most effort into those. As a fan, um, I hopefully everybody else out there is going to get back into the BWO. There's a faction, a tag team in the BWO called ATM. At any point in time when you see Jay, he was known as the Menace at first. He is now known as Jay the Ace in the
Yep,
BWO. One of the best competitors anywhere, simply because he's that damn good. Um, and the only person who can stand up to him is the person he's in a tag team with, who is Antoine Tate, aka AT, the power player, aka Namas AT, one of the best. And obviously, Jay, in his real life, is an American Navyman. So shout out to him.
that's
Thank you
right.
for protecting and serving our country.
Definitely.
But as he's a Navyman, so he doesn't have access to all of the amazing background green screens, all that good stuff. He does it purely on talk, and is just one of the best that can do it. And AT is a master of the special effects. So his whether it's a plain promo where he's just in front of a green screen talking mess, or turns into somebody completely different, he will always have you guessing. So that was that the matches between them and with them in the BWO are the best, and you definitely got to watch those if you get a chance.
Oh, well, we got a few more pop up here. I'm going to ask these.
Go right ahead.
How do you feel about promo artists digging up on family members and basing their promos around that? Taking personal shots.
I am not a fan of personal shots. I don't. This is all literally supposed to be fun and game. I'm not a fan of dropping stuff. I'm not a fan of you taking your anger out on someone or getting mad at someone and turning it into entertainment. While that is the best entertainment because things like that are real life and that's what people relate to the most, I don't believe that should be done in this setting. Um, there was, just to give an example, there was something called the PowerPoint of Pain in the BWO. That was a personal that was too personal. You know what I'm saying? It was something that if you want to go watch out, just look it up. The PowerPoint of Pain, PowerPoint presentation of pain. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And it felt like it was too personal. It felt like it was you went after somebody who didn't give information. Like I had a match
This
with the
is
conscriptor. Go ahead, I'm
this is
sorry.
more related around, I guess, being related to another artist like Mama Purge and Purge, for example.
Yeah, so that would be different. They're both in the promo verse.
Right.
So my first match in the foundation was against Mama Purge, Elijah McFly, and technically I kidnapped Purge to make sure that Mama Purge was out of the match. That's a storyline. That's not an issue. Do you know what I'm saying? That's not an issue because it's a storyline and nobody's actually getting kidnapped. Nobody actually has any hard feelings,
Right.
and we could turn that's specifically storyline. It's kayfabe. It's fake. We made that because it would go good with the story. If you coming after somebody's mama because she has cancer or something like that, that's jacked up. There's no reason to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's going too far. That's how I feel at least.
So here we go. We got a couple more here. Who would you love to have a match with that you haven't faced?
Okay. In the BWO, I would probably say Mike Tuck, Commissioner Mike Tuck. We are Superman and Bizarro. That's what we are. We are the same being, same animal, different beast. If that makes sense. So
That
that
does.
that would be an interesting match to see what goes on there. Outside, um, definitely I gotta talk to old school one point in time. So. Definitely got to talk to old school. Um, I did face El Wapo once. I kind of want to. I kind of want to see him again.
Okay.
But outside of that, um, I probably have to expand a little bit more. But get into the higher ranks a little bit.
Oh,
But
look at this. And
yeah.
this is a big one here. I want to see you in A-list. And you I had ranked, I
Ah,
believe, was number 5 on my list. And I believe I had
seven, I
A-list
believe it
number
was. Yeah,
1.
yeah, it was number seven on your list.
Oh, number 7. Sorry. It was
Yeah.
close. And I'm telling you, that whole gap there is not like here. It's like right there, that top 7.
I have met A-list in person, and the simple fact that he actually talks like that, kind of kind of messes me up. He's one person that yes, I would like to face him. He handed me the Havoc title as well as the prototype title, and yes, I would like to face him, but I would also like to have him in a faction, just as like the best host in the faction, myself, Lamar, DB, A-list, obviously. Just have all Purge, have all of the best hosts kind of
Hey,
in a
can
good
I join
faction.
too? I
Something to think
mean,
about.
hell, I'm right here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well,
All
that
right.
was foregone conclusion. We were already part of it. So
I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Here, I'm going to ask you this because this is coming out Tuesday here. We're going to be doing a special Real Talk episode with the most controversial moments in promo land that has ever happened. What's your
sheesh.
most controversial moment that you think you've ever seen? You don't have to be a part of it, just the most controversial.
The two controversial was um the the dispute definitely between me and Stephen Faison. There was a like I said, the judge that just erroneously judged me and cost me, technically it's cost me the title. We ended up not recognizing that. So that was definitely one you want to take a look at for sure. Me versus the young gun for the Havoc title in WGP. Another one that was disputed, one that was a
Could be a
huh,
controversial moment, not necessarily a match.
controversial
Could be a
moment.
moment, something that happened that really just made you go, "What the hell?"
Um, I think it was something about Toaster's balls. Like I had no idea what was going on there.
I,
He lost them and then he got them back, or I I I probably blocked that out a little bit, but I know that that was
you
one of the
probably
ones
should
that
have
was like,
said what.
what in the world is going on here? Why is this happening? Probably the more recent controversial moments. One of them was AEP defeating the Young Buck for the BXT title.
Yeah.
So that was, whew, if you saw the match, you would understand, but it's still a shock if that
It
makes any
is.
sense.
I gotta
So
say, I gotta agree, man. I think
yeah,
Young Buck was going to come out there with that.
I honestly thought so as well, but that wasn't the case, and we have a new BXT champion, AEP, and I think we may have another controversial moment coming up this weekend at the Golden Mike. So keep that
Yeah,
in
Golden
mind,
Light
y'all.
coming up this weekend. Definitely looking forward to seeing that. Oh, look, here we go. That's the Tonster Balls saga. We'll find out if that makes the list because
Wow.
that might be there. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that was a wild one for sure. Whew.
Here we go. Let's see. Is there a type of promo artist who would not work in BXT BWO?
So we have two people right now in the BXT VWO who are just painful. Um, AEP is BXT, that is correct. Um, Anybody who refuses to use landscape mode is a problem. I won't actually say names this time, but anybody who refuses to use landscape
Yeah,
mode
for the
is an
viewers
issue.
at home, see how we're on screen? This is landscape mode.
You
Yes.
don't want to you don't want to use it because that's literally just for TikTok. That's for what YouTube Reels and stuff. Don't use that for this. If we're
Yeah.
putting on a production, make sure you're in landscape mode. Make sure it
He
looks
said
good.
say it. He said say it. You want
I
to
will
tell
not, Mr. Faison. If you want to say it, go ahead and say it. But you know.
look, he's insisting. Yeah,
Clearly,
okay.
he's instigating, but no, you will not catch me off guard. That's not part of my character. Absolutely not.
And finally, I'm going to ask you one more question here. Any advice for any young promo artists that are trying to get into this?
Um, the champions are the champions for a reason. Don't get discouraged. Um, this is all fun and games. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we take this seriously. Yes, we want to be the best. Yes, this is a matter of pride. But there's a reason why the champions are the champions. There's a reason why I will absolutely never challenge Jay the Ace for any title whatsoever because he is that damn good. Um, but just in general, don't give up. If you are in a match, look at the judges' notes, adapt. If the judges say, hey, you know, make sure you're in landscape instead of portrait. If you're in landscape on the next video that you choose, automatic score boost, automatic because they see that you're improving. You know what I'm saying?
You're
That's
listening.
a
You're
big one.
paying attention.
You're listening, you're paying attention. Uh, Purge, obviously, an owner of his own as well as like on the committee of a bunch of other places, came to BXT. I think his first match, I don't know, we couldn't understand what he was saying. So the next one he did in all German,
I know. I
and
saw.
that was his best promo. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like listening to what the judges are saying and not taking offense to it, but adapting to it. Adapting to what they want to see out of you, what could make your promo better. That's the best thing you could do, despite, again, like I said, don't get discouraged. I have robbed quite a few people of titles recently, so but don't get discouraged. I see them again and again. I've fought Elijah McFly coming up on 5 times. I think this next one will be the 5th time. I've seen Mama Purge about 4 or 5 times. I've seen somebody like Sergeant Havoc about 4 or 5 times. They're never discouraged because everywhere else they are, they're pretty damn good. And the same thing with me and the people in the BWO. I've come against them about 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I lost, but I adapted. I got better. The score gets better. So um, as long as you are listening to what the people want to see from you, listening to the locker room, listening to exactly what's going on, listening to how um, how people see your character evolving. Whether you want, if you have something in mind, keep following your trajectory. But if you don't, and you're trying to figure out how to get better from where you are now, listen to the judges, listen to the locker room. Those are all things that'll help you um, expand as a promo artist. And if you're not listening, that's going to reflect in your score too.
And there you go. Definitely a lot of great information put out here. If you tuned in late, you might want to go back and listen to a lot of this. This was a lot of great stuff. Thank you, Don Krypton. It's an honor to have you on this screen. Definitely an honor to meet you finally.
Absolutely.
I'm Dr. Quack, and the next show will be, this is my last show for January, but we will be having Those Luchas on next Thursday, February 2nd. And before that, we will be having on Tuesday, we will be having Dark Side of the Promo. Make sure you tune into those. I'm Dr. Quack. Thank you, Don. We'll talk to you next time.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.